You have Tim Scott, the U.S. Senator from South Carolina, who's been in the Senate since 2013. Right before that, we heard from Katie Britt, U.S. Senator from Alabama. Coming up, Glenn Youngkin. What do you make of Tim Scott? Obviously, he was in the running to be vice president.
Yes, he was one of the early contenders for the VP stakes. Look, Republicans have a clear message here. The country's in decline under Joe Biden. We have an economic agenda that's going to make you richer, wealthier, more prosperous. People are on message. Here's my problem with tonight's programming. In prime time, someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has espoused just ridiculous conspiracy theories, somebody who should not be elevated in this kind of platform. Mark Robinson, who's running in North Carolina for governor, who's shared vile anti-Semitic tropes left and right. What happens is you elevate some rising stars in the party, like a John James and a Wesley Hunt, but then put them beside these very figures who should be fringe figures and giving them equal billing. I think it's a mistake. I think it was a choice, but overall the message is there. And this is what the Biden camp has struggled with, is you can't really say what the core message is. You can walk away from tonight whether you agree with it or not, and you know what the core message is.
You know, that was kind of cringy to me. We got half an hour into 8 o'clock. We had 4 African-American men. There's clearly an agenda here, and let me just say I'm glad that the Republicans are trying to get black men. I think both parties should compete vigorously. There's an opening to get black men because of the double whammy with black men, feeling the economic pain seriously, and also feeling some social dislocation when it comes to gender and feminism and what's going on. There's an opening there, but this is not it. I'm going to tell you right now. All 4 of them sounded like black people who talk about black people but don't talk to black people. That's how they sounded. My phone's blowing up because it felt so off in terms of the tone. And the thing that I just want to say, and the things that they said, you don't say that you have thousands of black children dying in Chicago with glee, the way Tim Scott did. You don't say that black children can't read the way that James did, and that there's a time we can go back where the zip codes didn't matter. We've never had that time in America. Those guys sound like people who talk about black people, not to black people.
Scott?
I just as a tactical matter tonight, you think about what Trump is doing, eating into the traditional Democratic seed corn. African-American men, all the polling is very stable. Trump's currently scoring in the 20s. They're featured tonight, whether you like them or not. These are messengers who are willing to go on a stage on national television and say, the Republican nominee is our guy. That's number one. You got people like that. You've also got Sean O'Brien, the president of the Teamsters, coming out tonight. A union leader, somebody who's going to be speaking to the working class. When I think about how Trump is going to win this race, peeling back African-American men, peeling back rank-and-file union members, for my whole career, Democrats have counted on both. Now the Republicans are making a real play, and that's why he's leading in all these swing states.
Donald Trump is now officially the Republican nominee for the 3rd consecutive time. Triumphant, the former president received a hero's welcome. It was quite a moment as he entered the arena in Milwaukee last night.
I worked for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
The crowd in the arena chanting, "Fight, fight, fight," the same words that the former president told the crowd in Pennsylvania in the moments after Saturday's assassination attempt. That white bandage over Trump's right ear, a constant reminder of just how close he came to death. Trump appeared subdued, almost emotional at times, as he joined his newly announced pick for vice president, the Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. On stage, speaker after speaker said it was God who saved President Trump from the bullet. Here was South Carolina Senator Tim Scott.
On Saturday, the devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared. Oh yeah, he roared.
Trump's opponent, President Joe Biden, in a different situation with a different tone on Monday. In an interview with NBC News, Biden walked back comments he had made earlier this month when he told donors, quote, "It's time to put Trump in the bullseye," end quote. And you could see he was defensive as he discussed his place atop the Democratic ticket.
I'm going to debate him in September. But if the opportunity came up to do one between now and then, is there a sense of wanting to get back on the horse?
I'm on the horse. Where have you been? I've done 22 major events, met thousands of people, overwhelming crowds, a lot happening. I'm on the horse.
I'm on the horse. Joining me now, my panel, Mike Dubke, former Trump White House Communications Director, Mike Preston, CNN Senior Political Analyst, Mo Alithi, former Communications Director for the DNC, Matt Gorman, former Senior Advisor, Tim Scott's presidential campaign. Welcome to all of you. You are laughing, please. Who would like to go first?
Did Tim Scott fall off the horse is what I want to know. I mean,
fall off the lion.
I'm not fall off the lion. I mean, talk about the
Milwaukee, I'm on the
enthusiasm.
horse. I guess I need to be on the horse. Like, yeah, it's early.
Mo, I mean, as the Democrats sitting here, I mean, that moment in the hall, I don't know if you were in the hall last night when this happened, but it was a remarkable moment that really crystallized the difference in this race since this assassination attempt. And the president's interview following it only sort of served to underscore that.
Yeah, it was an emotional moment, I think, for a lot of people in the hall. Saturday was a very jarring moment for the nation, and I think this was sort of the first assembly of Trump supporters after that moment where they could really sort of celebrate him and reflect on that moment. And so all of that felt right, felt appropriate. He came out looking, as you put it, subdued, looking a little bit more serious. And they keep saying that this is going to be the convention where they are going to preach unity. I'm still waiting to hear that, though. They keep saying they're going to do that, but I keep waiting to hear that because speaker after speaker, many of the people that you saw last night were people who aren't necessarily preaching unity. They're still sort of reverting back to the rhetoric that they used before the convention. And so I'll be very curious to see whether or not that tone is what President Trump himself carries in his speech on Thursday.
Yeah, well, apparently we're gonna discuss this later in the show, but Ron Johnson blamed the teleprompter for his rhetoric. Yeah. Mark Preston, I mean, big picture here. This did seem like one of those particularly striking moments in conventions. I mean, the floor goes on for many, many hours. We are left with a few things that really stick out, and Trump's entry last night is going to be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, no question. I mean, he staged it. I mean, he's a great stageman. He knows how to, he understands stagecraft probably better than anyone. What's interesting about these conventions, and we've been around for a few of us here. Do you remember the president wouldn't come into town? Yeah. He wouldn't come into town until maybe Wednesday night, but definitely Thursday. But Trump sees this as an opportunity, really, to use every one of these nights to try to get his message to folks who just don't know him.
Mike?
No, absolutely. I mean, you have 4 nights of basic free advertising given to you by all of the major networks. Why not take advantage of it? And to your point about stagecraft, I mean, from Butler, Pennsylvania to last night, I mean, this is definitely a gentleman who understands stagecraft. Now, the one thing I do want to emphasize, and the thing that really struck me, was his demeanor was very different. I think it was very different last night because of Saturday. And I don't know exactly why, but there is a change. So you can talk about unity, Mo, and all of that, though I think from a Republican standpoint, we really felt like we were reaching out. But the way the president presented himself, President Trump, last night, I think was very different. I noticed a marked difference.
So did I. I mean, I feel like the way his face, and this is, he had a brush with death. Yeah. And that changes a person sometimes.
Absolutely. And Mark's right. This was also the hallmark of the 2016 convention. Every night, or most nights, Trump would appear and he wouldn't say anything, but he'd appear in the hall, get a big ovation. The first night in 2016, he did this very, very similar thing, different tone. The song back in 2016 was Queen's We Will Rock You. This time, very different song, very different message.
Yeah.